Irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Fataris' Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fataris. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this week we have Cosmo Gang the Video. Cute 'em up Galaga action. What kind of taste will it have? Let's get cooking and find out. From developer Namco, Cosmo Gang the Video released to arcades in 1992. This title is basically a reskin of the original Galaga gameplay, but with these characters from a ticket game called Cosmo Gang. And I have to go and say that I've loved my time with this one. It's just been so enjoyable to sit down and just kind of blast through this cute 'em up version of Galaga. So it's one that I highly recommend even at the $8 price point of an arcade archive title. And I definitely appreciate it being on the Arcade Archive as it gives us a chance to play and enjoy this title. So, with that said, let's dive into the game. You can kind of see a little bit of what this is like. So, starting the game, we're dropped into Gang 1. So the stages are Gang 1 through 33 ultimately in the end. And we're the space police tasked with bringing, or defeating rather, the Cosmo Gang led by Don Cosmo. So, the gameplay, I've noticed already, is very, very similar to your typical, Galaga formula. We have enemies that come in wave-like patterns, positioning themselves at the top of the screen, and then ultimately they'll shoot down at us and then dive bomb us. We do have some awesome power-ups that we can pick up and collect, one of them which is the Hyper Wing, which basically gives you a twin blaster. These Ps will give us score multiplier. And there's also several other fun ones that will work for both attack and also to increase your lives. The pole position flag, for example, is your 1-up in this game. So as we progress, the stage moves through various here's the surprise box. So it's basically kind of like a jack-in-the-box that pops out and surprises all the enemies, temporarily stunning them. It's pretty fun, but there are situations where it could get used at a time where there's almost no enemies on screen, and it's like, aw, but they're still stunned. They're just, you can't see it. So throughout the course of the gameplay as well, after we defeat enough stages, we'll come across some fun challenge stages, which are based off of the original ticket game that introduced the Cosmo Gang characters to the Namco universe. And here we are at the first challenging stage. So the idea here is similar to the original ticket game, where we have to go and shoot the various Cosmo Gang in the mouth to keep them away from the energy at the front of the screen that they're trying to get. And it's actually a lot of fun to play. So if they get the boxes, they'll pull them back to the back of the screen. If they get all the way back, then it's game over. As long as that hasn't accomplished, you do win, and you're given a bonus off of your performance. So, of course, the best bonus is if they don't touch the blocks at all. But for our efforts today, we got try harder. So another thing that's neat about this title is it's possible to play 2 players simultaneous. And the second player basically acts on the same plane, just like right above the first player. So the same power-ups apply, but one thing to note is that the Twin Blaster is only equipable by one player, the one that goes and defeats the Cosmo Gang member that actually has it. Those really larger, more flamboyant ones that have a great sound bit when they die. So that's the first use of the tornado power-up. It basically acts as a bomb that will spin and defeat any of the enemies that happen to be in the area. As you progress through the stages, you'll get more and more enemies and mechanics introduced. Ultimately, there'll be some where you'll see enemies that will have armored suits. There's dragons that appear later in the game that are a little bit trickier to take out and will breathe fire all the way down the stage. I give up. The sound clips in the game truly are priceless. So it's also possible to get a different kind of shot, the barrage shot there, which will fire explosive shots at the enemy. You can kind of see just how effective some of the shots get. There's also 2 power-ups that are specifically two-player related. The Supernova, which turns the player in the upper aisle into basically a battery that you fill up with shots, and then they explode onto the enemies, dealing a lot of damage. And there's also a power-up that swaps the position of the 2 players. So we've been introduced to some armor enemies that, like, at least to me, they kind of remind me a little bit of like a Dig Dug, where they've got these armored suits and they'll fire like laser beams like straight down like towards you. But when they're defeated, at least on the English version, they run off screen saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's really cute. And that is Cosmo Gang, the video, served up for your enjoyment. As far as the minus flavors are concerned, really I've enjoyed this title so much that there aren't really a whole lot of negative feelings that I have about it. It's one where I feel like having the second player at the start of the game makes things a little bit too easy initially. So there is that, and then the challenge stages really I feel like are some of the most enjoyable elements of this game. So it's disappointing that there's not a way to just go and play just the challenging stages by themselves. And if I were to come across one of those Cosmo Gang ticket games, I would definitely take the time to throw some coins into it and do my best to get some tickets. As far as the plus flavors are concerned, I love, those challenge stages to begin with, but just in general, that really fun, cute-em-up feel that this game has. So if you're looking for some way to basically freshen up your Galaga experience, then I think that Cosmo Gang, the video, is worth checking out, 100%. Alright, that'll just about wrap it up for this week's video of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. As always, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.
Oh no!
We'll win next time. I give up.